Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today I'm pouring this poppy tray mold from Molds and Shapes, and it's the S size, it's the smallest tray out of the series. And I thought I'd try a 3D bloom. So it's quite risky and I was not sure how to do it, and so it would look nice. But I just thought I just start. So I have here those leaf which I made small in my resin. I don't know how you call it when you make it really small, like little pieces. It's like those golden leaves, but I had it in black. And I thought I'd put it at the bottom of the mold, but I should have maybe done it a little bit thicker. But yeah, like I said, I was not really sure how to start with a 3D bloom, but I thought I'd just go for it because it's quite difficult in this mold. But I think I found a good solution for myself. So as you see, I'm pouring clear resin into my mold, and I'm using here the Mastercast resin. The Mastercast is a rather thick resin. It has a working time from around about 35 minutes. And because it's winter and it's cold, I have it on my heating, so it's really nice and smooth, and it doesn't have much bubbles, which is good for the 3D bloom. I also need to say, I even let the Mastercast sit for maybe 10 minutes before I started pouring, because I wanted to be 100% sure that it works out. So, but please make sure you don't wait too long with this resin if you use this resin, or if you use any thick resin with a short working time, because you really need to figure out. Anyway, so I'm now taking care for my bubbles, because yeah, at the edges there, the bubbles like to be there. And I already also mixed my white. I'm using the pigment drops from Etta Art, and I'm using the interference champagne from Etta Art, and I mixed this into my resin. I think I showed many times how I'm mixing my white, so I think I don't need to explain anymore. I have here also my colors. I used, let me think, I think from Octopus the Wisteria, and I use from Etta Art the, let me think, oh God, the Coral and the Mango. So I'm starting here with the Wisteria, and I thought purple at the bottom of the mold could be nice. So like I said, I was not really sure what I'm doing. So I'm just thinking about how can I drop my resin inks. So I also need to clean the bottles, because some of them I didn't use for quite a while. And now I'm busy with the Coral, because I thought it's a beautiful red tone and it fits the poppy, not the puppy. And then I'm using the Mango. Some poppies, they have a little bit a purplish or even a pinkish tone. Some are like yellowish orange. So I thought I combine all the colors. You can have those poppies. And there's now the orange, and I'm dropping this at the top of this mold, also a little bit into my coral. So I want the colors to be blending a little bit, but of course not too much, because I want to see the different colors. But I'm making sure that I have my mold rather covered with resin inks. I think I've never done this like this before in a 3D bloom. I'm always very careful with the resin inks. But yeah, with this I just poured or dropped all the resin inks just into the mold and made sure it covers very well. So, and now I just make sure that I prepare a little bit my white, and I also closed my bottles in the background, and now I'm just swirling just this little bit, not too much, so that there's a little bit of blending. But like I said, I don't want it to be blending too much. I don't want to just have one color. I like that you still see the colors itself. So it's also a matter of preferences, what you like and what you don't like. This is the way I like to pour. So now I just take my white, and then I'm going in a spiral, in a poppy spiral, I would say. Strange word, but yeah, I don't know how else to explain. I'm just following the mold, and you see I was hesitating on how to pour. So again, I was thinking, and yeah, what can I do? But then I decided really for the spiral and then following the shape of the mold. You see, I'm just pouring out of the cup. For me, it's the easiest way of doing the flower. But if you are really beginner, it might be better with a piping bag. But for me, I found that I'm quite comfortable with the cup, so I'm pouring out of the cup. I had in total 30 grams of resin for my white. I added, let me think, 1 drop per 10 grams, so 3 drops of the pigment drops and just a little bit of the interference gold, because I love to have those shine of the interference colors. So you see, I have my spiral ready, and then I just randomly using the rest of my resin, hopefully that it's not going to blob too much, but I thought, why not going over it a second time, and then I don't want to be too accurate anymore. And then I can just let the resin do its magic. Quickly the torch. With the torch, please always be careful. And now I just smoothened out where I started with my pour, and you can already see at the edges that the resin is really working very nicely. So I'm really hoping that I achieve some nice 3D bloom effects, but we will see. So the next challenge was, how am I do my pattern? I was not sure about it either, but I thought at these, where the petals of the poppies are right and left, I just pull my dotting tool right down, not completely down to the end of the mold, but just a little bit. And then I thought in the center a little bit, and also, yeah, where the poppy is dividing, maybe, I'm not sure. I thought just this, and not more, no swirling, nothing. And just let the resin do whatever it needs to do, and hopefully to achieve some nice pattern. Yeah, you see, I'm doubting, I'm thinking, and yeah, now the torch, and I thought, no, I just leave it like this. I'm not gonna do more. And yeah, I'm so curious how this is gonna work. And I know I've done 3D blooms so many times, but it's a new mold, a completely new mold design. Anyway, this next day I poured in the evening, and I could demold before I went to work. So I was so curious. You see, it's not bendy anymore. That's a good thing about the Mastercast resin. And let's have a look. I'm so curious. And yeah, look at this. Look at this color blending, and it goes from the purple to the red to the orange, and I really like it. And I have maybe tiny blobs in the center, but I don't mind. I don't mind at all. You see later when I show you the end result, because off camera I did the golden lines, you really also see the interference gold. In this camera perspective, you don't see it proper, but now I'm gonna show you, and It's so beautiful. It has such a 3D effect. And look at these bright and happy colors. Really love this. And I love the interference champagne. It's not gold, it's champagne. And look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? I really love this. So with this, I love and leave you. I thank you for watching, and I'm curious for your comments. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.